Welcome back. Today, we're going to build an iron farm. Like we started in the last episode, we got our villagers all together, being bred up there. So now we just need to figure out what else we need to build the iron farm, mostly materials and potentially some problem solving around village placement. Otherwise, we should have the core of what we need all figured out. This is something you would usually build way up in the air. At least that's where I would usually build one. But I've put my villagers up there, and since my source of villagers is up there, it's easier for them to drop down to here. But that means I have to dig out a whole bunch of space for this farm. Small problem. I miscalculated exactly how much space I was going to need for this. I dug a big hole. It was not quite big enough for the spawn area that we are expecting the golems to be spawning in. And that's not great. It's specifically the room is just barely big enough for the golems, but it's not quite big enough if we send out the drone. You'll notice that what I'm fighting against is two sides of the mountain that this build straddles, this specific pillar. We're also going to be taking a gamble and building it at half scale, where we only build it on the diagonal, so that we don't have villagers in their pods just floating out in space, in the area out there. We don't want villagers just floating over in this corner. And we don't want villagers floating over in that corner, which means we have to build a little pod for them in this direction and a little pod for them in this direction. The golems can still spawn in here, hopefully. Very carefully. Oh. Did not make enough room for this guy to get through these beds. Let's that should. See if he runs to a bed. Sweet. That's 2 out of 2. There was a third villager that had escaped in the process of testing the villager breeder upstairs. So, where? Oh, he's up there. Diagonal this, he won't get stuck in a wall. Perfect. Find this out. Make plenty of room. Then fall all the way down here. Not right over the pit. Okay. Now he should run. Wow, anywhere but there would have been great. Perfect. And now we get a couple more villagers after a few minutes, hopefully. Give you all some privacy. One more villager out of this. There we go. Let's see. I just... Okay. I'm dead. Oh, that's a bad spot to die. Okay. There we go. Let me in. Nope. Yep. Well, I guess we're taking 2. Oh no. Fantastic. Perfect. You're gonna go straight. Oh. Oh no. That is the best news that could have happened. this there, and this here. Drop down. And... oh, we need lava. I forgot about the lava. Into the mine itself. The lava. Very careful. Let's take that off the hotbar before I set it down and burn myself alive. Alright, so for our super simple manual collection test, let's get rid of the bed. Make sure we can walk all the way around. Don't want to hit them. Hello, friend. This is how the farm works. Let's see, did we get any iron? We got 3 iron from that. So we got a slight problem. This guy is out here. He needs to not spawn out here in order for the farm to continually produce golems. Alright, so according to the wiki, we're going to need to make sure that we don't jump into lava and die. We're going to need to make sure that within 16 blocks of each villager that an iron golem attempts to be spawned from, we don't have anywhere they can spawn other than in here, which means we need a 16 block radius of non-spawnable area, including up there apparently. Which means we may need to do some more landscaping. What I'm doing is farming their kind, so I kind of deserve this. I think I've gotten most of the spots, and the farm is working fairly well now. I am pretty sure I got all the spots out outside of here that they could actually be spawning in. We'll see. It did do a number on the cliffside, so we're gonna have to adjust this and take this back to a good looking back of the base. The good news is nobody looks at the base from the back, so we've got time. We can take it and make it and shape it into something that looks better. I think this is all that I have time for today, so we're going to wrap up here. I've got enough iron, if not for a functional, efficient farm, at least for shears for tree leaves, and we can go back to that project next time. Or maybe something else, who knows. That being said, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.